Thank you very much for watching Master Jason Feng Shui channel. As all of us know, the general election 2025 is just around the corner. So today's topic will actually be using Bazi. We will check on some of the date of birth of the most prominent or famous politicians in Singapore to see whether they will experience positive turns of events in this 2025 general election or otherwise. 我们呢在新加坡呢了解一件事情啊，就是说我们的大选呢政治啊，所以呢很多其实呢新闻现在都一直在说一些关于我们新加坡大选的一些事情啊。那我们呢在新加坡虽然是一个弹丸之地，可是呢还算是有某程度上的一个我们就说民主啦，那所以呢，我们就会尽量呢说看一下呢，在这个大选里面呢，当政府给人民选择的这个过程当中呢，人民会觉得哪一个他们的喜欢的政治人物呢，会不会能够成功的再继续当选还是怎么样？我们今天只是来闲聊哈。所以呢，今天所说的东西其实呢，并不会有什么那种政治的一个我们叫做一个政治上的那种影响力啊，或者什么东西，我们只是个闲聊 ，right? Today's is just a chit chat, okay? To check which politicians in Singapore actually have better development in their political career when we look at it from a Bazi perspective, okay? It is just a chit chat, so it's not going to have any political implication or try to influence the outcome or the election process. Really, it's just a kind of exchange or exchange of ideas with my viewers and just for educational purposes. Okay, so of course, as I mentioned today, is really about Bazi reading because we cannot have a 紫微斗数 analysis without their time of birth. So I will not be able to touch on the 紫微斗数 chart. I will simply look at their date of birth alone, right, to see what we can derive from the Bazi reading. Of course, we will still first of all look at the PAP candidates first. Of course, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not very familiar with the Singapore political scenes because I'm not someone who, I'm quite politically apathetic. I don't really care about the Singapore political developments, etc. Because to me, it's pretty much the same, right? Regardless, so-called having an election or not, Singapore is going to be the same. What kind of difference will you be able to see in Singapore political scene, to be honest? But I believe it will be an interesting analysis if we look at their date and time of birth from a Bazi perspective. 就是说呢，如果从八字的角度呢来看一下新加坡一些比较重要的官员他们的八字来说，应该会蛮有趣。那还是说那句啦，今天所说的东西只是一种我们跟观众的一个交流啦，一个交流，并不是说要影响那个选举的那个 process 哦。谢谢您 Yvonne 的观看，然后韦恩还蛮 I'm interested in Chee if he can win. Just curious. Okay, so I will just quickly check what is Chee Soon Juan, Dr. Chee Soon Juan, date of birth first. So just a moment as I plot his birth chart. Actually, I wanted to speak on Lee Hsien Loong first, but since you asked, I will just jump directly to this Dr. Chee Soon Juan and show you what is in stock for him looking onwards. So he was born in the year 1962 and in the month of July on the date of the 20th. 好，那就是呢这个他中文名叫什么我真的不知道啊，可是就是说 Dr. Chee Soon Juan 呢常常呢他是那个 Democratic Party 的那个 leader 对不对？所以我们就看一下，直接看一下他的现在的那个情况怎么样。其实坦白说不太理想啊，我觉得不太理想。那我看一下那个 iPad 先啊。Okay, Dr. Chee Soon Juan. If you are to look at his Bazi chart, all right, let me start the screen sharing first. Sometimes I just speak and forget to share with you the screen. So this is Dr. Chee Soon Juan chart. So we can see, for those people who are familiar with Bazi reading, we'll know that Dr. Chee is actually of a Zi of Day master, and I will say is a strong one. Of course, we don't have his time of birth, so we will not be able to take his time of birth into consideration in the determination of his day master strength。就是我们没有他的时间，所以是看不到他的身强还是身弱了。可是呢，只是从那个年份还有月份跟日期来看呢，他还是一个声望的吉土。而且他的性格是蛮固执的，通常这种呢吉土呢盛旺的人嘛，他们性格很固执。For people who have a strong day master of the Zi, they are usually very stubborn. So if you look at Dr. Chee Soon Juan, right, all the elections in the past he has lost, right? Basically, he has never really, win a single election in the past. But I also mentioned that, right, stubbornness can be a positive thing or at the same time also a negative thing, right? If you look at it, he's very persistent. Even though he has failed again and again, he still come back, right? This year he's contesting the Sambawang, right? If I'm not wrong. But looking at his current decade trend, actually is not that positive. His current decade trend is actually at this Kui Chou. So if we are to look at this year, it is actually of a fire element 2025. And 2026 and 2027 likewise are not very positive years for him because it is of the strong fire year kind of influence. You may ask, will there be a chance for this Chou and Shi to pair together to form a metal combination formation? I will say the chance is slim because there are no metal in his year, month, and date of birth. Unless there is a strong metal element within his time of birth. Of course, we don't have his time of birth, so we can't tell. Yes, you are correct that Wei En, you are correct that his variable elements is actually of the water element. So actually his best years are like over already. It's already over. He also the last general election, what year is that? Last year, GE in Singapore was somewhere near the COVID-19 time, right? That election he almost win, right? He almost win. But if we have to look at his current decade trend, right, the last general election was somewhere in 2022. Was that correct? You guys have to tell me a little bit because I kind of forget. Yeah, so I'll take this as a chit chat session. So I kind of check when was the last general election. Was it in 2022? You guys, can you remember? But he also lost the last general election because looking at his past years, 2022 and 2023, there was a transition period of entering to this Chou. This Chou 5-year period is negative year for him. Or it was 2020, was that correct? Anyway, we can see, right, looking forward, it's not that positive. Right, in 2020, he actually won, okay? In 2020, no, he almost win, right? He almost win. But ultimately, he lost, okay? So unfortunately, I will say his current decade trend is not one that is really positive because Chou and Wei also form a clashing relationship. If you look at his 八字 chart， 就是说呢，我们懂得八字的人都懂啊，他的命格里面就有这个2个尾的地支，所以他现在的大运是这个丑的地支，会不会对他有一个坏的影响呢？会的，他应该没有可能够当选啊，我觉得啦啊，可是 don't take me as it's like what I'm saying is just from a Bazi perspective, nothing to do with his performance. Yeah, I'm fair and I'm impartial. I'm just looking at it from a Bazi perspective. It's not likely to see very positive development for Dr. Chee Soon Juan. Okay, especially if we are to look at the current decade, Kui Chou. This Chou is clashing with his spouse domain likewise. Will he face marital issues? That's something that I will see. There could be a possibility. 2026 likewise is having a punishment relationship, who actually has a punishment relationship with Chou. So likewise 2027 is also clashing with his 5-year period of Chou. So no, I don't see Mr. Chee Soon Juan winning, all right, in the coming general election. But of course, right, regardless of which candidate is going to contest, I wish them all the best because all of them have have a good intention to serve Singapore. So regardless, even the new Prime Minister, I also will wish him all the best. The new Prime Minister by the name of Mr. Lawrence Wong, right? So perhaps we will also look at our new Prime Minister Lawrence Wong Bazi chart. All right, let me check online what is his. To be honest, right, I didn't prepare today's sharing, so it's really a random chit chat, yeah. So just relax, enjoy yourself, take it as a form of entertainment, right? It has no political implication whatsoever. It's really just for entertainment that we are, chit-chatting over a cup of coffee or over a cup of tomato juice in my case, yeah. I always love to drink tomato juice. All right, so let's look at Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, his party, all right? So I will quickly plot his party chart and show you guys why he may have a rather, smooth, not say really smooth, but it's like his position will be quite secure. I will say, looking at his party chart, being born in the month of December the 18th and in the year of 1972我们的总理啦，那现在的总理就是我们的 Prime Minister Lawrence Wong 他的八字就是水非常旺的一个命格当然我们不知道的时间所以他会不会有一个重格的这种对不起，那个转旺格的情况呢，很难说。可是我觉得他还是身旺的啦因为呢，他是刚刚好呢，在这个进入我们的巳火的这个大概我们的2023、2024呢，进入这个巳火的这个5年大运。那个巳火呢，对他的八字是一个好的影响来的，因为他的八字嘛，就是一个水多的一个八字嘛，所以水多的八字呢，这个怎么个水多癸水多的一个八字会怎么样呢？财就是他的喜用神啊，火就是他的财啊，所以他的名字也是叫做黄润财，对吗？His Chinese name is what's his Chinese name？ 王俊才对吗？ What's his Chinese name? All right, let me read out his Chinese name. Hopefully, it's correct. 黄训财，对不对？黄训财，所以嘛，财嘛，就是他八字的那个喜用神啊。所以有时候呢，我们看到有一些人为什么他们选那个中文名字叫阿财叫这些名字好像很特别Money is their name, alright? 可是呢，他的就是一个我们叫做财是他的喜用神。所以可能他算有出生的时候有找过师傅帮他找一个名字的，他就是一个需要财的一个，我们 OK 八字里面有食神我们知道有正官偏官，然后正财偏财食神伤官比肩比劫这些东西还有那个我漏了什么东西总之三官食神，总之那10个食神读过八字的人都知道我在说什么了我没有楼下什么我有时候说的太快。总之呢，财是一个对声望的人来说，好像我们的 Prime Minister 嘛 ，Lawrence Wong 他的食神里面哪一个是他的喜用神？就是那个财星火这个元素就是他的财星，因为水克火嘛，所以水就是他的财富所以这个是很我们常常在八字里面会看得到。So in terms of the 10 gods theory, right? The 10 gods in terms of 八字。They are actually not a kind of gods, but a kind of expression or manifestation in terms of the energy, the movements of energy within the Bazi system of analysis. So the 10 gods are alright. 刚才我漏了那个 resource 就是那个正印还有偏印所以我们的食神里面有正印偏印比肩比劫还有这个食神伤官，还有这个正官七杀还有这些就是说还有那个对不起有时候我的 memory 就是说还有偏财正财还有官杀这些星星那so in terms of his chart, wealth is actually his favorable element. So fire is his auspicious element. I'm talking about Mr. Lawrence Wong. 所以他的名字也是叫做什么我的 memory 真的很差，就是黄训财嘛，对不对？财就是他的名字黄训财，财 is equivalent to wealth when you look at the translation. So I believe someone has calculated his Bazi before and has given him such a name. But if you look at his future, the Keat is very positive, able to hold very important, highly authoritative position in his career, because fire is basically also able to create what we call the 正官七杀, or what we call as the the 7 killings and the direct officer, which represents authority. So yes, definitely, Mr. Prime Minister Lawrence Wong will continue to perform quite well in his political career. So baby girl, thank you very much for watching. Oh, there is an upcoming election in Singapore. Yes, just had election also in Australia. Oh, you are from Australia. Thank you very much for watching from Australia. Election seasons anywhere, everywhere, politics. Yeah, actually, 2025, I would say, right, is a time of change for many nations and also for many people's life. To be honest, right, this year, all the clients who come to me for consultation, all of them have very major changes in life. And these changes are mostly negative. I'm afraid to, I feel very unfortunate to announce this, but most of the clients who are seeing me nowadays are all facing legal issues, being chased after, by banks over loans, there are debt problems. This kind of situation are taking place because the fire element is getting stronger and stronger. For the last few years, actually, we have a lot of water elements and metal elements. And it is like beneficial for those people who needed the metal and water element. But moving onward, the fire element that will be very strong. And those people who actually are afraid of the fire elements will see a lot of financial issues, career difficulties, legal problems arising in their life, etc. But for those people who needed the fire element, like, our Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong, he will likely perform well. And as I mentioned before, Singapore actually is a country that lacks the water element because if you look at the Singapore founding day, so I just also opened the founding day of Singapore, founding day chart for you to kind of take a look. And to understand why I will say, right, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong is having quite a beneficial chart for Singapore. As Kuan Yew represents land, motherland, our country. So you use Singapore, report the Bazi chart of Singapore basing on the female gender because it's of Kuan Yew. Kuan Yew means the Mother Earth. So Singapore was actually found in the year of 1965 and in the month of August and on the day of the 9th. And in terms of the time, I will just put it as the hour of the morning 子 hour, right? 早子时. So if you look at the chart of Singapore, it is a Yiwu day master that is weak. And you can see that Wei is actually at the bottom of the day master, a branch with sun at the month, a branch with Shi fire at the year, a branch Shi Wei actually form a fire combination formation. So Singapore is one that is of a weak day master of Yiwu, thus elite at the water element. So if you look at the Bazi chart of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, likewise of the water element, right? So let's look at Lee Kuan Yew's, our founding father, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, right? The most respected and leader in Singapore. His date of birth, right? Let's look at Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's birth chart also. So we quickly plot his birth chart. Lee Kuan Yew. He was actually born in the year of the 1923, in the month of the, quickly plot his chart, September the 16th. So if you look at Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's birth chart, likewise is of a strong rainwater day master that is very beneficial for Singapore, having a lot of water, right? Cheng Bock form a metal combination formation, and then this thing is able to serve as a direct resource for rainwater, and his year of birth is likewise of the water element. So people who have a lot of water element within their birth chart is usually someone extremely wise. They are very clever, very adaptable, very able to survive in even very. It's like they're able to find their way. Water is never stuck. whenever you see a new, a kind of a new, kind of like an area that has a kind of a hole or something, the water will generally be able to pass through. So different kinds of situation will cause them to be stuck, but ultimately they will be able to find their way out, right? That is the personality or the characteristics of people who have very strong water element within their birth chart. And even under extreme stress, they will be able to stay calm and still move forward. Like where Malaysia actually kicked Singapore out of their, their kind of like their territory. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew faced tremendous stress, and it was a crisis for Singapore. But given that he has so much wisdom and he has this kind of composure, of course it was a very scary moment, for all. But ultimately, he was still able to make Singapore into such a successful country because his chart is very beneficial for Singapore. Right, he is having rainwater, which is the direct resource of the Yi wood. Right, we look at Singapore's birth chart earlier on, so perhaps I will open the Singapore's birth chart once again so that you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. So let's look back at Singapore's birth chart. It is of a Yi wood, which is a yin wood. Rainwater is a yang water. Okay, so it's the direct resource of Singapore. So under the leadership of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore was able to prosper, become the first world country just within half the century, 50 years, right? He's able to turn Singapore from a third world country to a first world country. So I will say Singapore leader people who have the water element. So, I'm not saying that the Dr. Chee Soon Juan is negative for Singapore, but looking at Singapore Bazi chart, all right. Looking at Singapore's Bazi chart, Singapore is not suitable to have too much freedom because we can see that the direct officer is actually at the Mun pillar. If Singapore is having too much freedom, it will become quite chaotic because Singapore is a flower. It's very much like it's a national flower, the orchid. They will always lead the trimming, and trimming means control. It is really under a very tight control or kind of like very careful planning that Singapore will be able to survive. Okay, I personally, right, if you have come to my shop before, right, I do keep orchids in my shop also. And you really, orchid is not a kind of flowers that is easy to keep. You really need to be very meticulous, like how much water to sprinkle on it and have to trim it, sometimes. And that is Singapore. You cannot let Singapore to be a fully, running on a democratic kind of, governance. It will not work, right? So this is also reflected in Singapore's Bazi chart. So that's why I say I don't care about the Singapore election because the results are pretty much going to be the same, right? Because you needed a strong government, right? Someone who has high level of control for Singapore to prosper. So that is my take on it from a Bazi perspective, but has no political implication. Okay, right? This is just for educational purposes that I'm sharing this. But we see that in the year 2025, Singapore as a weak Yi Wu Day master is actually having a gun kind of a 5-year period. So will Singapore face a tough time in the next 5 years? Yes. Most Singaporeans actually are already feeling this kind of stress in life. The situation, economic situation, especially in Singapore, will get tougher and tougher. Will people face a higher cost of living in the next 5 years? Definitely. We all will be stressed to low ends, I would say, right? But this is what the Bazi chart is showing. All of us will be, under great pressure and stress in the next 5 years in Singapore. So we have to be mentally prepared for tougher time. And this is the facts of life. If you look at the world we are in right now, as I already predicted earlier on, after 2024, the world will be in a chaotic situation. Wars will break out, both in terms of military war and economical war. Now we have tariff war between US and different nations. And we also can see that cost of living is always increasing, right? No matter how the statistics show, but you guys know, right? You guys live in Singapore. You guys know the prices, right? I won't emphasize too much because you can feel it yourself. Yeah. So let's take a look at Huang. PAP keep winning because they keep changing boundaries. Well, I have no comments on that. But Huang, so when will be the day of election will be called, right? I will say the date of election must be called before the second half of this year, because if we are to move into the second half of this year, it will be exactly hitting the what I call entering into the Shi fire energy, and Singapore is actually likewise founded in the year of the snake, and that is called 值太岁。就是说进入我们下半年呢，正式呢那个其实坦白的说我们八字呢那个流年的天干是代表上半年下半年用地支来代表的，可是也不能够绝对的这样的说了。可是从经验来说经验来说呢，我常就就是呢会看得到呢，就是下半年的那个运程呢是被那个地支而影响的。所以呢，很直接的、坦白的说了进入了下半年，如果才 hold 那个 election 呢，会那个情况是蛮糟糕，因为呢会有很多事情呢发生呢，会可能让现在当政的那个政府出错。值太岁的情况就是说，常常呢自己做一些事情出来害到自己。所以我建议这个 election 不是我建议了就是说我建不建议政府还是会选了一个好的。就是他们觉得是一个好的时间可是 I will say it's likely to be before the second half of this year. Will it be in the month of April? I will say April is actually quite a good month for election to be held because it is having kind of Chen. Chen is the wet earth, and it is exactly what Singapore needed as a Wheatwood Day Master. Chen is a water storage, if you remember, right? So I will say April is a good month. May onwards not so positive already. So if I am the government in charge, or if I'm the election, all right. Okay, well, how should I put it? Okay, I will just say from a positive perspective, right? Best to be held in the month of April. May onwards is not likely to be that positive already. A lot of issues will will surface and kind of like make situation worse. It's good to make it a quick battle. Quickly go into the election, quickly close the case, then move on to face all the major issues that Singapore are going to face in the next 3 years. Because, well, to be honest, what are you going to choose in Singapore, right? You only have okay, let's say, I have no preference, okay? I don't, all right, do I like or do not like any political parties? I'm just saying, Singapore is too small. There are real issues that need to be addressed on an international level. So will these kind of political parties kind of fights between one another be very beneficial for Singapore? I don't think so, because my history, I came from Hong Kong. I have witnessed how is it that very fragmented government will create chaos in a city state. It is just too small. It's not like you are in America or in kind of like countries like very big countries with a lot of populations. Then there will be a very diverse kind of wants and needs due to the geographical locations. The demographics are very widely different, like in Thailand. So you have many political parties addressing the needs of different demographics, but not in Singapore. We all stay in the same way. We all kind of like all stay in city, live rather much. Most of us, live the same way, eat the same kind of food. So there's not very of course, it's still a democratic society. We should have this kind of election, but I will just say that by all means, go and choose your political parties that you prefer. And but still, at the end of the day, right, there are real issues to be addressed beyond this election. You may like or do not like particular political parties, but there are really bigger issues that needed to be addressed by a government that is, capable and that is having all the, all the power and all the especially diplomatic relationships with other countries. Yeah. So, but of course, right? Ultimately, I'm going to emphasize again. I'm not asking you to choose any political parties. I'm just teaching you Bazi right now. Okay. All right. So the next person I will analyze is of course perhaps all right, I will skip Mr. Lee Hsien Long, okay, because I kind of like there are many other candidates that are worth because I think I have made a video regarding Mr. Lee Hsien Long in the past, so I don't want to talk about him anymore, and perhaps we should kind of look at who else you want to talk about? Maybe Pritam Singh. Yeah, Pritam Singh is someone that I believe a lot of people is interested to find out. So Pritam Singh，就是我们叫做的那个别担心，别担心的那个议员啊。那他的八字呢是1976年8月2号哦。So his date of birth is actually August the 2nd, born in the year of 1976. Actually, I early on have already done a Bazi case study on him. So we will still look at his chart nonetheless. So his chart is actually of a Bing fire, but his chart is kind of special in a way that it is very dry. A very dry chart will lead to be balanced by the water element. But we can see that there is no water within his chart. Luckily or fortunately, his current decade trend is actually having a lot of water element, like right from 2018 onwards. Was that the period of time whereby he started to become the what we call Secretary General? When he become the Secretary General. Let me check for you, yeah, because I didn't prepare. As I mentioned, just randomly, chit-chatting with you, of the Workers' Party. Yeah, so the year he became the Secretary General of the Workers' Party was actually 2018, and that is exactly right. Very accurately reflected in the Bazi chart. That is exactly when he has entered into this 2018 of the Genzi, which is very, very strong in the metal and water element. Metal is his wealth, likewise, is his wealth element, because fire element, having such dry chart can be considered as a strong day master. Having Yi wood and other Bing fire at the heavenly stems can be considered as a strong day master. And we can see that likewise, 2018 is whereby he has entered into a very strong metal and water decade trend. Metal is his wealth, water is his authority. Thus, he became the Secretary General of the Workers' Party, succeeding Thia Khiang. He is the first leader of the opposition in Singapore's history to be formally appointed and given official resources following the 2020 general election. Yeah, so he is still currently going through a rather positive decade trend. So 2020 is likewise of the Genzi year, right? Very positive for him. Genzi is metal or water. So 2020 he became the first leader of the opposition in Singapore history to be formally appointed and given official resources. Yeah. So yes, 2020 is very positive for him. 2021, if you look at his next decade trend is Singzhou. So you look at his 2021, it was also rather positive. So this kind of similar heavenly stems and earth branch is likely to bring him a positive development. But if you will remember the Rizal Khan case, right? When it started, police case. When? There was this girl, this lady in opposition party by the name of Rizal Khan. A former member of parliament from Singapore's Workers' Party was involved in two notable police cases. Of course, you guys can read it online. So, it was exactly kind of like the situation started in 2021, right? Because we can see right from 2021, this Chou here actually is clashing with this way. But is it going to bring him down tremendously, like causing him very negative development? I don't think so. Because currently the Zi water is still his what we call silent killing. So he will still fight on. And will he likely to still win this election? The chances are high, right? I'm not asking you to vote for him or not vote for him. I'm just teaching you Bazi, okay? So don't say that I'm trying to like swing folk or whatever. No, I'm just trying to teach Bazi, okay? But looking at his chart, yes, he is still going through a rather positive decade trend. But will he continue to face a lot of political issues? Yes, because regardless what, the next 2 years are still rather strong in the fire element. So we is really he's still going to hold an important position in terms of politics. But will he face a lot of struggles? Yes, a lot of struggles. So let's say the month of April is the month whereby the January election is going to take place. April is a good month for him because it is of Gen Chen. Gen Chen is still strong in the metal element, so it's still positive for him. Of course, I really don't know where is the election going to take place. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so another politician that perhaps you would like to know is this guy by the name of Wai something Wai Leong Mun Wai. Yeah, Leong Mun Wai, the one who quite actively challenged the government of Singapore, the government. Yeah, because I don't know, he something's wrong with his pronunciation, or I don't know if he did it intentionally, but he always says the government is doing this, doing that, all wrong. Always use the word government. Yeah, I don't know whether it's intentionally or not. But anyway, let's look at Mr. Chang. All right, sorry, this Leong Mun Wai. Yeah, Leong Mun Wai. Recently, there's actually this very interesting episode of Coral, right? Leong Mun Wai having this Cantonese kind of exchange with the other politician. This Cantonese kind of dispute kind of something. Anyway, I will talk about it later. But he quoted one of Andy Lau's most famous Cantonese phrase. Anyway, yeah, you guys can feel free to ask any questions. Yeah, if you want me to check on a particular politician date and date of birth, of course we will never be able to find the time of birth. Yeah, so he actually has a Cantonese kind of exchange with this Dr. Tan Sui Liang. Yeah, Dr. Tan Sui Liang. Oh, so what is the quote, the Cantonese famous quote? Right, perhaps I will just touch on it later. I kind of like digress. Sometimes when ideas come into mind, I kind of digress. But yeah, it is actually a Cantonese kind of exchange. They say, of course I will say it in English for the sake of English. I say but you don't listen. You listen but you don't understand. You understand but you don't do. You do but do it wrongly. You do it wrongly but you don't admit. You admit but you don't change. You change but are not convinced. Then what do you want me to do, right? So that is the exchange between in Parliament. Very interesting one. That one I kind of laugh also. So yeah, anyway, it goes like 我講你又唔聽，聽你又唔明，明你又唔做，做你又做錯，錯你又唔認，認你又唔改，改你又唔服，我可以點啊？ So this one is really quite classic. Yeah, actually a lot of Hong Kong people also like to quote this phrase. But anyway, let's look at Leong Mun Wai's Bazi chart. He was actually born in the year of 1959. In the month of December also. And all right. Okay, December the 20th. So let's look at Mr. Leong Mun Wai's chart to see what kind of characteristics we can see. He is actually one that is having a rather positive chart for Singapore also. A chart with a lot of water element and also having been fire, as I mentioned, right? Singapore needed both the sunshine and the rain to become a beautiful plant. Right? If you look back at the Bazi charts of Singapore, as a weekday master, right? Singapore actually have a very good founding time, this is of the Bingzi, having both sunshine and the rain. All kinds of plants need both the sunlight and rainwater to survive. So Mr. Leong Mun Wai's chart, his chart is actually one that is rather positive for Singapore's development. Given that he has this Zhi Earth is a kind of wet earth and a lot of water element. And he is actually of the Bing Fire Day Master. I think he's likely to be a weekday master. Of course, I don't have his time of birth. As a weekday master, he's actually having a rather positive ride ahead, yeah, because we can see that Zhi itself is his output factor. So you can see, right, output is always about someone who like to produce a lot of ideas or generate a lot of opinions. And if you observe Mr. Leong Mun Wai's performance within the parliament, he is as such always like to question, speak a lot. The what's the, how do I call it, the one who is in charge of the proceeding of the parliament, that guy always asks him, please kind of try to pause him whenever he try to speak. But we can see that likewise he's actually having this 三光 alright, let me open back the 八字 chart 哈。我们在八字里面呢，三光这个元素呢，就是从2020年开始嘛，它就进入这个三光的这个元素啊，就是天干三光的三光就是 challenge authority 的一个意思，就是说你去 challenge 你的那个我们叫做authority， 所以他就是这种他就是这种性格Leong Mun Wai 他的性格就是说一直在 challenge 那个PAP 对不对？所以Mr. Beauty 谢谢你的观看，Yeah, it was really quite funny. Yeah, Speaker of Parliament 所以Mr. Leong Mun Wai 他真的有这种要challenge the existing the status quo 的那种性格啦。那相关永远呢都是怎么说呢？因为他官嘛，他的命格里面就很多官的嘞。其实坦白说，如果呢 Mr. Leong Mun Wai 呢，他的命格盛旺的时候呢，其实能够任官叫做能够任官。所以呢，可是伤官同时也有见官，伤官见官呢盛弱的话呢，通常就也是很容易犯到那种官非是非所以其实我觉得 PAP 会不会有一天我不要这样说了，好像说的很不好。总之呢，他要自己小心了。有时候 he's becoming too challenging towards the PAP, and this may not be too too may put him at a dangerous position. That's what I'm trying to say. But looking onwards, 2025, right, second half of this year is strong in the fire element. 2026 likewise is Bingbu. Definitely is positive for him. 2027 is also positive for him because it's of the Ding Wei. And then if you to look at 2028 onwards, he may suffer some kind of setback. But fortunately, right, from 2028 onwards, he's also moving into this Shi fire. Shi fire trend is likewise very positive for him, for his Bazi chart. So I will say will Mr. Leong Mun Wai has a good chance to stay on. The chances, I will say, is there. The chances is there. And in fact, most of his opinions or suggestions could actually have some merits, have some points that are worthy of serious consideration. This is talking about looking at it from a Bazi perspective only. Okay, I really know nothing about politics in Singapore, so this is just for educational purposes. Yeah, but given that his chart is also having a lot of water element and having this Bing fire is a kind of element that will help the wood to grow, to transform into a beautiful flower. Yeah, so I will see actually, not all opposition is really just there to disrupt. Some are actually giving rather positive suggestions. So, and I mean, fair enough, they are being elected into the parliament because someone supported their, their ideas, their ideology. Yeah. So this is my take on, Leong Mun Wai. So also look at Hazel. What is that? Hazel Paul, yeah, Hazel Poa, is it? Hazel Poa, yeah. Hazel Poa. Of course, she's the other member of the, is it okay? Who is okay? Perhaps I will double check who is. Or let me plot her chart first. I believe this is the woman who wear the spectacles, right? As I mentioned, I'm not very familiar with the political situation in Singapore, so I may kind of like don't know who is who. Yeah, but this Hazel Bao, is it? Of the gun day master that is strong, very capable woman. Yeah, very highly capable kind of individual, and but likely, right? He will like she can be very sharp in a sense like the things that she says sometimes may actually can be very what I call is it can I say provocative, but like the things that she say or her observation or the suggestions that she make can be very sharp, and currently her decade trend is positive because it's still of the Mawood. Yeah, it's still of the Mawood. But 2027 onwards, she may have some kind of setback because hers is a strong gunmetal day master. This is Hazel Bao, is it? Is it called Hazel Bao? So from 2027 onwards, she may actually have some issues in terms of her political career. But now she's still quite okay because going through the Mawood is her wealth. And when gunmetal that is strong, going through Mawood is actually rather positive. So will she has a chance to stay on? Yes, because fire element is her seven killing or direct officer, which will cause her to have authority within the government. Yeah. So yeah, she's actually of the Kui Gan Ge. Yeah, very strong type of movement. Kui Gan Ge is very much like Mr. Lee Kuan Yew Ren Chen of the Kui Gan Ge. So Kui Gan people are very, Kui Gan Ge people are always very capable, very strong will, have very strong will, and they are very sharp. Very sharp in the sense is like very is like the actions they take or the words they speak, they always have some kind of edge that will be they don't talk nonsense. They really say things that 一针见血，我们叫一针见血，就是 there's point they are strong kind of message in whatever they do or say. Yeah, so these kind of people are suitable for being a politician. I have a friend who is a lawyer, is also of a Kui Gan Ge. So all these people who are of Kui Gan Ge usually have a very strong will, highly self-disciplined, and highly focused, committed, very much like John Wick. Have a sure will. When they want to kill you, they will kill you. Yeah, this kind of personality, like John Wick kind of personality. So yes, I will say Hazel Poa, all right, should continue. Will continue to have some kind of influence over the Singapore political scene. But 2027 onwards, she has to be careful because Mu Earth is actually rather negative for her. And given that there's actually a lot of earth within her charts, health issue wise, yeah, hopefully Hazel Bao will be watchful over health issues also. Yeah, this is a sign of unusual growth in the body, cancer, this kind of stuff. Yeah. So, but of course, it's my wish that she will stay healthy, yeah, and continue to serve Singapore. Yeah. All right, I'll forget to on the chart for you guys to see. So yeah, just to let you all revise, this is Kui Gan Ge, Gen Chen is a Kui Gan Ge, and she's actually having this Mao period, and it's a good period for her, but from 2026 or 7 onwards, right? Because although here it writes 2027, usually it's a few months before that. So 2026 onwards, she has to be cautious of health issues, etc., or other kind of troubles that may surface in her political career. All right. So perhaps we will also look at some of the more more interesting. Should I use the word interesting? I don't know. Josephine Teo. Yeah, Josephine Teo. I believe she's another politician that Okay, let's just go to her chat and see what we can see. Yeah. Josephine Teo, the senior Singapore politician from the People's Action Party and currently serving as the Minister for Communications and Information. Yeah. So let's plot her Bazi chat. Josephine Teo. All right. So perhaps if you guys have any suggestions as to which politician you want me to look at, do feel free to leave it. Leave your comments, and I will attend to your request. Yeah, because I really don't know. There are so many politicians. Which one you want me to see? I can always just open her chat or his chat to take a look. Yeah, Mr. Sorry, not Mr. Mrs. Is it Miss? Okay, I will just call her Josephine Teo, right? Josephine Teo. All right. I see Danielson has a question. Will Chee Soon Juan win this time? I don't think so. He's not likely to win this time. Okay. As already explained earlier on. Later you can rewind. Actually, he was the first. He's the first politician I mentioned in this live broadcast. He's not likely to win this election. Okay. So so now talk about Josephine Teo. He's actually having update master sitting on a longevity factor called 掌声。通常呢，命做掌声的人呢，他们的成功都比较容易比较容易成功尤其是呢，因为他的气杀嘛是在他的那个地支然后呢旁边也有乙卯这种都是我们叫做官很重他的官运很重。那我们看得到呢，他现在的大运来说嘛，很有土的大运好像他是几时when he entered when she entered politics。我们来看一下Josephine Teo 的 history Josephine Teo 他是在这个2006年进入这个就是 Parliament 的 Bishan Topa your GRC in 2006 general election. So let's look at 2006 what happened. 2006 is actually of the Bing Xu. If you look back at her history, Bing Xu is of course of the fire on a dry earth, which is definitely beneficial for her charts, given that hers is a weak of day master. So we are very clear on that her positive elements are of the fire and earth. So next 3 years, of course, including this year, is of the strong in the fire element. So yes, she will continue to stay on and be able to perform well. But nonetheless, currently is a Shangguang. Shangguang is the output factor. So not likely to kind of like she will have a lot of work, a lot of output, but her career will only become, to be able to escalate to another level from 2028 onwards, whereby she entered into this Wu Earth decade. Yeah. So for the next few years, it's like a lot of hard work for her, but she will not see a lot of progress in terms of her political career. She must be patient. But by the time she reached her 72, or from 2038 onwards, she will have a very high position in the society because that is something like the best decade of her life. So will Singapore in the future has female prime minister perhaps or kind of like some female parliament member of parliament that holds very high important position? Yes. And she has a chance to stay on and become highly successful in terms of the future in the Singapore future political scene from 2038 onwards. But of course, there's still a long way to go. But still, 2028 onwards, right? The 5 years from 2028, she has a very positive career in terms of being a politician, right? For Josephine Teo. Okay. So I think she will stay on. Yeah, she's likely to stay on. Perhaps any other one you want me to see, like any other people? Desmond Lee. Will PSP win this round? I will think yes. PSP is the Leong Mun Wai one, right? Leong Mun Wai is likely to win, I will say. Desmond Lee. Who is Desmond Lee? Let me check first. Yeah, let me look at his photo first, and then kind of like Desmond Lee is from PAP, right? Okay. Okay, yeah, PAP, Desmond Lee. So let's look at Desmond Lee date of birth. Okay, from PAP, yeah. Right, date of birth. Right, let me quickly check his date of birth. Desmond Lee. So he is born in 1976 in the month of the June and 15. The date is 15. So Desmond Lee, strong of day master. Now is Gen decade, definitely he will win. All right, I will say Desmond Lee will continue to stay on. Okay, because he's going through a very positive decade. In fact, all the way to his 60, 65, he will continue to stay on. Because, right, this kind of decade trend is very positive for Zi of day master. They're strong. Likewise, of metal generating water. This kind of chart is very much like the same as Pritam Singh. Very much like Pritam Singh. Going through both authority and wealth kind of trend. Yeah, so that's mainly very likely to stay on. Yeah, no doubt about that. Highly likely to stay on. And his future is still quite good, right? All the way till he's 2-0. While Chou here maybe slightly slowing down, not as active, but his future is okay. His future are very good. He has very good decade trends ahead. Okay, so yes, Desmond Lee is likely to stay on from a Bazi perspective. Okay, I no political implication. You guys vote whoever you want to vote. All right. So I'm not trying to swing vote here. Yeah. Yeah. So I mentioned PSP, the Leong Mun Wai, Edwin Tong. Okay, let's look at Edwin Tong. Edwin Tong is the law minister, right? Okay, Edwin Tong, yeah. So let me check Edwin Tong, 1969. Right, let me plot his budget charts. All right, so 1969 is his year of birth, and in the month of August, and on the 12th. So will Edwin Tong actually win this election? Gunmetal Day Master, that is a strong one. Yes, he's still likely to win because his current decade trend is still very positive of the yin wood. He is likely to hold very high political power. Well, even now he's already holding very high political power as a very, very pure kind of gunmetal day master that is strong. Gun sitting on sun, then another sun at the month day of branch, another Yo metal at the year of branch. Sun Yo Xu form a metal combination formation, and his is a very strong metal combination formation. There's a eating god, which is his output factor at the heavenly stamp. That's why he is very clever. And Fa Lu, what we call the law, is actually of the water element, so it is his strength. And he's a lawyer, right? Last time he fought for Kong Hee, right? The City Harvest case, and the sentence was actually greatly reduced. Having him as the lawyer. You guys can look at Kong Hee's my earlier prediction. I make a YouTube video on Kong Hee, the City Harvest Church pastor. So you guys can, if you are interested, can go back to it and take a look and actually predict that, Kong Hee, after he was released from prison, he will continue to be quite active. His success will kind of like resume. And if you look at his attendance, not really attendance, but he's kind of like his role now. He's still a pastor in that church, right? City Harvest. Still, I'm not sure if he's still leading the services, but yeah, he's still, doing well. Yeah, that's what my prediction of Kong Hee. So it was just a few years that, he encountered some kind of elements that caused his formation of the Zhuang Wang to be disturbed. But now he's okay. Kong Hee is still okay. Yeah, so Edwin Tong, right, the lawyer who fought for Kong Hee, yes, a chart that is of strong gun metal day master. In fact, from when he actually joined, perhaps I will check when he joined PAP, because right from his chart, when he entered politics, from his chart we can see that political power already present in his early 40s already, right? Early 40s, this Ding Mao. So yes, exactly. Edwin Tong entered politics in 2011, and that is exactly where he's going into this 2011 Ding Mao. Ding Mao is actually his 正官 or direct officer, and that is exactly, as quoting from internet, Edwin Tong entered politics in 2011, exactly when he entered into this Ding Mao decade trend. When he was elected as a member of parliament for Marine Parade GRC under the People's Action Party during the 2011 election. Since then, he has led several roles such as Minister of Culture, Community and Youth, Second Minister of Law, former Senior Minister of State for Law and Health. Yeah. So all the way to the end, I would say, he may continue to experience very positive development in terms of his political career, all the way till he's 67 or 8, of all the way till he entered into this 2036. 2036 onwards, there's a Chou metal here, which may actually cause some issues for his health. Yeah, his health. Having too much gunmetal, they must have to be cautious of issues like intestine issues, the colon, and also the respiratory system. Yeah. So hopefully, Mr. Edwin Tong will have good health in the future, but currently he is likely to continue holding important position within the government. Oh, Shanmugam. Right, Shanmugam, I talked about him previously. He may actually have some issues, to be honest. Yeah. So I will quickly find his date of birth. So if you remember Shanmugam, the law minister Shanmugam, right? So let me explain with the chart. He may actually face some, difficult times ahead. I have already made a video on him earlier on in the YouTube. You guys can go back to it and rewatch. He is actually of a strong fire day master. And that's why the next few years is not going to be a smooth ride for him. Looking at, all right, sorry. Okay, let me double confirm. He's 1959, March the 26th, is it? Oh, right. Okay, let me double check. Let me double check on the internet. What exactly? Because as I mentioned, I didn't prepare. I'm just randomly, just plotting the charts and explaining it to you guys directly. So, Mr. Shanmugam. All right. So I'm not sure why, but it seems like I'm not sure if the internet state the correct date and time of birth, 1959 March 26th, because I remember previously he was actually of a Ding Fire Day Master. But anyway, I don't think Mr. Shanmugam will have a smooth years for the next 3 years. So I hope that he will do well. I will need to double verify on his exact date of birth first, because or you guys can check for me, right? If you guys have the internet, there seems to be different versions of his date of birth. 1959 March 26. Right, if it is really 1959 March 26, right? So let's look at Shanmugam's chart. Mr. Shanmugam, who is the politician and a lawyer, has been serving as Minister of Law since 2008, and the Minister of Home Affairs since 2015. Yeah. So if you are to look at his Bazi chart, we can see that he is actually having a Wu Day Master. And of course, we don't have his time of birth. Yeah, we don't have his time of birth. Assuming, right? We assume that he is having a time that is able to cause his day master. All right, I don't know why when I. All right, there's something wrong with my app. So all right. Okay, so I will replot. All right. So guys, rewind. All right. I think something is wrong with my app. But now, when we look at his chart again, yes, he's our Ding Fire Day Master. So rewind and delete, right? Rewind and delete. He is actually of a Ding Fire Day Master, right? Because I think I have plotted the chart as the 子 hour. That's why it switched to another day. So the correct version of his chart, Mr. Shanmugam's birth chart, is of Ding Fire, Day Master. That is strong. And if you look at his decade trend, yes, it's good. Yeah, he's still going to enjoy a very high position, kind of in his political career. 可是呢，你看一下哦，他的这个火很旺嘞今年是一个火旺的一个年份，丙午也是火旺，丁尾也是火旺，它本身就是一个丁火生旺的一个命格啊，所以这3年对他来说并不是说很好一定会有很大的问题。那其实上1年开始已经很不好了，我们记得2024年的时候就有那个他的屋子的那个问题嘛，那个叫做什么？那个 controversy， 那个很多人都有问为什么可是不管怎么样呢2024年开始呢，因为有这个甲木嘛，所以它已经会有一些问题了2024年我们回去2024年的时候，能够看到有一个甲木嘛那个是什么 issue 我就很快的pull up 一些 history 给大家就是那个 right up road 的那个 issue 吧。In the year 2024, two ministers, right, in Singapore, right? One is Minister Shanmugam, and the other one is Vivian Balakrishnan. These two ministers, rented these houses. And there were some concerns. Concerns were raised regarding potential conflicts of interest, given Minister Shanmugam's oversight of the SLA, blah 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 blah. So, but at the end, of course, they are found to be innocent. Okay, but it definitely kind of like it's not a good thing to have this kind of controversy. Given that he's a very high-ranking kind of politician in Singapore. But we can see, right, 2024 onwards, right, this Jia Wood at the Harmony stamps already means, right, some kind of issue will surface, right? When Harmony stamps means problems that are very prominent, very obvious to identify, yeah? That is the right-up road issue. So will 2025 likewise be negative for Mr. Shanmugam? I will say yes. Because it is a wood generating fire kind of year. And you look at Minister Shanmugam's bounce chart of a Ding Fire Day Master. So it's not a good year for him. From a Bazi perspective, of course, good or bad is a subjective thing, but really there in terms of Bazi, is likely to bring about some negative turns of events. So, of course, I wish him good luck. I hope that he's okay because regardless of what, he is still a very kind of like capable minister who has contributed a lot to the development of Singapore. I wish him good luck. I hope that he will take good care of himself. And but by 2028 onwards, his political career is quite smooth. But 2025 to 2027, these 3 years, actually from 2024 onwards, right, these 4 years will not be too smooth for him, yeah, Mr. Shanmugam. But will he still win the general election? Given his decade trend is still positive, I will say yes. Yeah, he's still likely to be able to win. So that's my take of Minister Shanmugam. So let's take a look at the comments. Do you have Jamus Lim? Oh, Jamus Lim, the PAP one, right? Yeah, so let's take a look at Jamus Lim, date of birth. Okay, so let's open Jamus Lim's chart. Jamus Lim. Right. So the caucus of my heart guy. Yeah, that's why. That's the only thing I remember. I'm an idiot when it comes to Singapore politics. Development. So 1976, January 20th. So Jamus Lim. So let's take a look at his birth chart. A strong Sig Metal Day Master, and currently the decade trend is actually 2020. I think he may not win. I think he may not win the next round because the 2025 onwards, right? The 5-year period is of Sun metal. So it is his BJ or the companion factors which are negative for a strong day master of the Sing metal. So I will say Jamus Lim not likely to win, not likely to continue. Or maybe he has other plans, I'm not sure, but I don't think he's going to win the next round. The election, yeah. So I will say this 5 years is not very smooth for Jamus Lim, to be honest. Okay, so let's look at the next comments. Look like PAP will win big. Well, all the while PAP also win big, right? I don't think I will see any great changes in Singapore political scene, to be honest. Lim Tean, who is that? All right, Lim Tean. Oh, another opposition party. That guy who was always being sued by PAP. I think. So let's take a look at his chart. He's the guy who like to make a lot of YouTube video also. Or is it the other guy? Lim Tean. I can't find his photo. Let me. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, the guy who like to who has been sued. This guy. So let's take a look at his birth chart. Yeah, this is the guy by the name of Lim Tean. Lim Tean. Yeah. So I will take a look at his Bazi chart. I'm not sure if I have his day of birth or not. So Lim Tean. Let me see if I have his day of birth. Lim Tean. Right. 1964. Lim Tean. 1964. And the month of birth is November 7th. Right, just some background. He is actually a lawyer and politician known for founding the political party People's Voice. Previously, he served as the Secretary General of the National Solitary Party from 2015 to 2017. Likely a weekday master chart of gun metal. And currently, he is entering into this, he is at this scene. But the year influence, this year, next year, not good for him. Due to the fact that he's a weak metal day master and having a lot of fire is not likely to bring him a lot of authority. So I don't think Lim Tean will win the election. Okay, because let me explain. Because today's topic is really just for educational purposes only, right? It's just for me to share with you how we read about the chart. Yeah, has no political implication, but for his chart, given that his is a weak gunmetal day master, yeah, and when we see too much fire is his direct officer and servant killing, means more political persecution awaits him. He will continue to face a lot of pressure in his political development. Yeah, so that is my take on this Lim Tean. But will he has supporters? Yeah, somehow because Sing metal is his BJ, somehow he will be able to draw people who have similar ideology, similar beliefs to him. But will he likely to hold political power in the next 5 years? No, I don't think so. It's not likely because this Sing metal is sitting on this Shi fire also. Shi fire, because fire element is able to melt this Sing metal. So this Sing metal is not strong at all, and fire is not his positive element. Given that his is a gun metal that is weak, so no, I don't think he will see political kind of positive developments in the next few years. And Dorothy, possible to read Bazi for Dr. Cheng Bock? Yeah, sure. Another character that very many people may be interested to find out more. Cheng Bock. So I'm trying to find his find his date of birth from the internet. So we'll plot his birth chart quickly. Tan Cheng Bock, 1940, and April the 26th. So Mr. Tan Cheng Bock, he is of a Zhi Earth that well, because he's too old age, so the software only able to plot his birth chart until he's 74 years old, and now he's like, all right, the software, right, he's not able to plot his chart till his 80s because he's in his 80s already. But if we are to derive his birth chart by writing it down, Bing Ding Mo Ge, now he's of the Zhi Earth, within the Zhi Earth trend. Given that his is likely to be, I don't know his time of birth, but having two Chen at the one at the year pillar, one at the month pillar, likely to be a strong Zhi of day master. And if you look at Dr. Tan Cheng Bock, he gives a feeling of he portrays a feeling of reliability. Someone people can trust, someone people can 很有承担的一个感觉哈。通常己土呢旺的那种人呢都有这种感觉，然后他们的背哦，这个 back 他们会很厚了，然后呢也不算圆，有点带方，有点小小的胖这样子啊，那就是那个 Miss Doctor Tan Cheng Bock 的那种感觉啊。通常土旺的那种命格都有这种给人家这种印象。可是现在来说，2023年他是己土的大运呢，没有可能够掌权，我看不到他能够掌权哈，所以呢，他应该不会进去 politics。可是他会不会怎么说呢？就是在背后 support 那个他会放在 election 的那些人呢会，因为他就是那个靠山来的啊。就是那个 PSP 的那个大的那个靠山啊，所以他还会有一个 role 了啊，可是我见不到他真的会他要选吗？现在 Let me check 啊 ，Does he run for election? Right? Does he want to run for this election? Latest news I'm not sure because I never follow the news actually, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a Bazi guy but not a politician. Yeah, as of now. Dr. Tan Cheng Bock has not officially announced whether he will personally contest in the next general election, which must be held by November 2025. However, he is what is known, still active in politics, yeah. Secondly, hinting at retirement, yeah, rightfully so. He's already 86, yeah, 86. How many years you have, right? If you enter into politics, right? How many years can you stay on to make a difference? You know, in terms of being a politician who will make a difference, at least you need 10 years to be inside the parliament. And already at 86 or 87, you add more 10 years to his life. He's like, how to speak in the parliament, how to argue his case. I think quite impossible. So I don't think he will run for this election. Yeah. So I don't think he will run for this election. And even if he runs for this election, I don't think he's going to win also. Yeah. So Vivian, I don't have his actually Vivian background. This parliament minister by the name of Vivian. His name is very long. Sometimes I can't pronounce his name. So let me try to get the pronunciation of his name properly. The pronunciation of his name, right? Let me get back to the Vivian Balakrishnan. I don't have his date of birth. Yeah, I have actually searched for this. Vivian Balakrishnan date of birth online, but I can't find it. I don't know why. It is not recorded on the internet. So if you guys are able to find out, do let me know. Yeah, I don't have his date of birth. Yeah, I'm not able. Is okay. When I ask, when I check again, it seems to show now. So let me plot Vivian Bala. It's a very long name, so I will just call him Vivian. Yeah. His name is very long. Right, I won't type it out as the full spelling. but the internet says that he was born in the year of 1961 and January 25th. Oh, okay. Since you asked, so here goes his chart. A chart that sits on a Wu fire. This Wu fire is actually peach blossom stuff. But if you look at Prime Minister Vivian Balakrishnan, he's actually quite handsome. To be honest, among all the older generation of parliament members of the parliament, he's actually the more handsome one. Yeah. But if you look at his, exactly when you look at his Bazi chart, he's actually having a Wu fire at his day of brunch. That is a peach blossom star. 我们的子午卯酉都是桃花星啊，他两个都有嘞，一个午火，一个子水啊，他是蛮英俊的啦啊，坦白说，看起来他的年纪啊，现在来说嘛，其实是蛮好看的啦你比起其他我不是说其他的 politician 不好看哦，等一下他们要输我，我只是说呢，那个 Vivian 啊，他真的蛮英俊的坦白说 quite handsome， yeah as a person, yeah, he's quite handsome. Nothing to do with politics, yeah. Whatever I say today has nothing to do with politics. But having this kind of peach blossom star at his birth chart is definitely someone who will have this kind of charisma. I say, attractiveness, right? And he's a strong of day master. And 2024 onwards is likewise of a Bing fire. So we see that from the year 2024, it has not been really positive for him due to this, this right out rogue controversy. Of course, he is innocent as determined by the PAP. But definitely worse, yeah, Bing fire. So will he win this election? From a Bazi perspective only, from a Bazi perspective only, is going to be a tough fight. Prime Minister, not Prime Minister, sorry, erase this. This member of Parliament, this Minister, Vivian Balakrishnan, it is going to be a tough fight for him, I will say, given that he has entered into this Bing fire 5-year period. And the second half of this year is Shi fire. 15位 form a fire combination formation, possible, yeah. And next year also Wu Wu Zhi Wu Wu forming a self-conflict, and also next year horse year is clashing with his year pillar of branch, offending the Tai Sui, right, in the year 2026. So I will say for both, Minister Shanmugam and Minister Vivian, both of them will have a tough ride ahead. Yeah. So of course, it's my I give them my wishes. Regardless whoever, right? As long as you are a human being, I will wish you well. As long as you are a human being, I will hope that you have good health, prosperity and a positive development. But today's sharing is just about Bazi. Yeah. So my take on it, right, from a Bazi perspective, it is going to be a tough ride ahead for Minister Vivian. Yeah. But, such is life. We have our ups and downs. Yeah. So, Heng Chee Hao. Right. So, Huang mentioned this Heng Chee Hao. Perhaps I will kind of check on how they look to see he is handsome or not first. Yeah. Just kidding. Heng Chee, because I can't remember their faces, to be honest, because I'm not someone who is interested in Singapore politics. So this is his face. In case you also don't know who is this guy, because I believe most of us Singaporeans, they are all kind of like don't care about politics also, just like me. Yeah. So this is Heng Chee Hao. Of course, right? It's a good thing, for you to care about politics. But no matter how much you care about politics, I don't think much will change in Singapore, right? To be honest. But for educational purposes, Heng Chee Hao. I will check on his date of birth, and I quickly plot his birth chart. Heng Chee How. So Heng Chee How is actually 1961 June the 8th. I don't really have much memory of him. I don't know what are his roles in the government. But anyway, this is his birth chart. Heng Chee How. He's a member of People's Action Party and has served in various political and union-related roles, including as Senior Minister of State and Deputy Secretary General of NTUC. So, 人生, right? Well, it's likely, all right. I don't have his time of birth, but given these birth charts, a very balanced chart, I would say, because right as a Run Water Day Master, he has output factor, he has wealth, also has authority. So I will say really the determining factor will be his time of birth, but which is something I don't have, because for this kind of chart, right, if the time of birth is of, for example, Gen Shi, he's likely to be a strong day master of the Run Water. So if he, right, just assuming, yeah, because I don't have his time of birth, assuming that he is of the, or perhaps I will just check some of his history to double check when he entered into politics. So as to backtrack a little bit, because that is what I do also when clients come to me and they don't know their time of birth, I will also look back at their history to see, is it coherent? He actually entered into politics in the year 1997. That is of the Yin Wood, yeah, this Yin Wood. And subsequently is Zi Chou. So all these are suppressing factors for the Run Water. Yes, so I think he's of a Run Water Day Master that is strong. So given that now he's of a Ding Fire, yes, he's likely to stay on. This Prime Minister, why do I keep on saying Prime Minister? He's only the Parliament Minister, Heng Chee How. He is likely to stay on. Now he's the mayor of Central Singapore District. Whatever that means, I don't know. Yeah. But he's likely to win and stay on because the next 3 years, strong in fire, is positive for his chart of a stronger water day master. Okay. So to satisfy your curiosity, Heng Chee How, I will say from a Bazi perspective, he's likely to stay on. So any other people or politician you want me to check on? Perhaps this guy by the name of suppose he was supposed to be the next prime minister, but he stepped down. What's his name? His name is Heng Keat. Yeah, Heng Keat. So Heng Keat is actually supposed to be the next prime minister of Singapore, but he actually resigned due to health reason. So let's check his Bazi chart. 1961, November 15. So he is actually of a Run Water Day Master that is strong. And exactly, right, when you look at the past decade from 2014 onwards, right, perhaps let's check on his health, yeah, because I don't think he's going to continue to influence the political scene very much because currently his decade is not that positive for him, to be honest, yeah. Let's look at his health instead. Because he has suffered from some kind of health issue like stroke or something, his health history. People who have too much of strong water, you did this chart because very strong hydrogen form of water combination formation. He is definitely a chart that is beneficial for Singapore. That's why I say, right, given this the name of Heng Chee, born in November 15, 1961, he's a senior Singaporean politician in the People's Action Party and currently serves as the Deputy Prime Minister and Coordinating Minister for Economic Politics. So his health history, 2016, Heng Chee collapsed during a cabinet meeting due to a stroke. So let's go to the first very significant issue in the past, which is 2016, and that was exactly within his Kui Water decade trend. Right, Kui Water decade trend. Water is an inauspicious element for this I forgot his name. All right, sorry. Heng Chee, definitely a very negative 5-year period for Heng Chee. And 2016, May child, right? Sun year. Sun year is a metal year. And then Bing actually clashes with his Ren water, right? If you look at this 2016, he's of a Ren water day master. There is a clashing relationship between Bing fire and Ren water. All right. Firstly, this is a clash, right, at the heavenly stems. And secondly, 2016, Sun metal. Sun is able to pair with Zi, earth branch, to form a water combination formation. All right. 甚至成画一个水局嘛，好，对不对？所以这一年2016年呢，他就有他第一次非常严重的一个 shock 叫什么？华语突然间 shock 叫什么？总之就是那个关于血方面的问题啦。因为水太旺啊，会影响到血方面的问题啊。八字里面水太旺，而且是水火相冲啊，那一年。丙火就是代表心脏的问题啊，丙火是代表我们的 heart。If you look at the character of the Bing fire, right, it actually looks like a heart with 2 tips, right? One is the, I'm not a medical student, but the heart actually has 2 tips, right? One to the left side, one to the right side, for it to circulate the blood. So you look at the character of the, Bing fire. Actually, it looks like a heart, right? So Ren being clashed with the Bing fire in the year 2016. It is a sign of issues related to the blood and heart, and he had a stroke. Right, he had a stroke in 2016. So blah blah blah. He was immediately taken to Tan Tock Seng Hospital and underwent emergency neurosurgery. Why Tan Tock Seng? I'm not sure. I went to Tan Tock Seng and it was quite one of the most horrifying experiences in my life, to be honest. Because the doctor actually, when they operate on me, they actually use, they just cut open me, to drain out. I was actually having an infection, a very small infection. But when I went to Tan Tock Seng, the doctor decided to just slide open my whole piece of flesh, the flesh. Yeah. Whereas when I went to, I live in Thailand. I have a reoccurrence of the same problem. The doctor in Thailand actually used laser, to operate on my infection area. So a very different style of surgery or operation. I don't know, given that Singapore is so advanced, so-called in medical science, but the method they use is still quite old-fashioned, and so I really had a very traumatizing experience in Tan Tock Seng. But of course, Tan Tock Seng is still a good hospital, and many people go there for treatment and they got healed. Maybe it's just my bad luck, right? To be honest, maybe it's just my bad luck. It's just a standalone incident. Yeah, it's just that I was having very bad luck. Yeah, but I don't feel like going back to Tan Tock Seng, to be honest, if given a choice. Okay. But anyway, Tan Tock Seng is still a very good hospital, one of the most established hospitals in Southeast Asia. By all means, go to Tan Tock Seng Hospital for treatment, right? It's going to be able to cure you. So anyway, for Heng Chee, yeah, he was actually having this kind of, health issue. And likewise, we can see, right, 2021, he stepped down, after he was being appointed, he was actually being appointed to be the successor for Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, right, in 2021, but eventually stepped down also, citing age and demands of leadership succession as key reasons. So that actually is coherent with his current decade trend. 2024 onwards, he's not having a very positive trend. Because this is a strong Ren water day master. When you see another Ren Chen, not likely to see a great political, career development. But in his younger days, like from 44 to 45, I will say yes. Perhaps let's check from 44 to his 54. What's his role in the government in PAP? He was actually having a very positive trend in the past from 2004 to 2014. That's around, from his 44 to 54. During that time, during this 甲午对他来说是一个非常好的一个时间大运哦。During the time, Heng Chee had several key roles in the Singapore government and within the People's Action Party. 2005 to 2011, yeah, and the role of permanent secretary, Ministry of Education. And then subsequently, 2011 to he's 49 years old, elected as MP for Taiwanese GRC, immediately appointed as Minister of Education, subsequently lead major education policy shifts such as promoting holistic learning over academic grades. Notably chaired our Singapore conversation in 2012, a national engagement effort to gather citizens' input on the future of Singapore. Actually, to be honest, right, I do like him. Of course, it's just a personal thing, right? Nothing to about swinging folks or whatever. I do like King's, this minister by the name of King Swee King. I do like him very much. I think he has a very, he's very wise and very approachable, a very approachable kind of person. And I think Singapore under his leadership will be heading a good direction. But unfortunately, health issue is something that he has to bear. Currently, he's still of the Renchen, so his health will continue to deteriorate. So I wish him a long life and good health also. And thank you for for your contribution to Singapore. And we now have Lawrence Wong as the next Prime Minister, who is also having a strong Water Day Master. So is that a coincidence, or is there someone behind the scene having done some kind of calculation? I'm not sure, right? But as I explained earlier on, like a lot of skyline in Singapore, look at Marina Bay Sands, there's a lot of feng shui arrangement over there. And in terms of the Parliament House, also, as I explained earlier on in other YouTube videos, you can go back to them and watch them. Feng shui of the Singapore Parliament House, etc. There is some kind of feng shui arrangement, like at the Qian Gua, which is the northwest of the Parliament House of Singapore, actually is where you find Fort Canning, which is the hill, and on top of the hill there's a reservoir, Fort Canning Reservoir or something, right? I can't remember exactly the name, but all these are actually purposefully built according to feng shui theory and application. Yeah. So that's my take on all these politicians. So it has been about 1 hour and 30 minutes. A lot of politicians have been analyzed. So any other politicians you want me to check? Perhaps I will also kind of brainstorm. Anyone else? Perhaps Lo Keat. What? Sorry, I can't really pronounce their name properly. Lo Keat Tang, is it? The Workers' Party, the previous General Secretary, Lo Thia Khiang, yeah. So his date of birth. Perhaps I will check on Lo Thia Khiang also. Yeah, Lo Thia Khiang. Lo Thia Khiang, I would say he's a very interesting character. Sometimes the things he say in Parliament can be, makes sense, but kind of like too creative. I think too creative for the Parliament to take. Yeah. So his date of birth is 1956, September the 5th. So Lo Thia Khiang. Right, if you look at Mr. Lo Thia Khiang's chart，他就有这个三观见观的他乙木三观见观的这种人通常都比较有那个 rebellious nature 的，三观见观嘛，也是很喜欢challenge authority 的那种三观见观的，因为乙木嘛本身见到丙火就是三观三观就是要 challenge authority rebellious 的那种 personality 然后这个申金就是官杀来的嘛。是他的己丑寅卯辰巳午未申，就是他的那个正官嘛，所以他的 life mission 就是 challenge authority 他就要做 opposition， 对不对？可是他坐在一个乙木乙木坐在一个 high 水上面 ，right？ 乙木 sitting on high, he has a resource factor, and given that his current decade trend is still okay, 癸卯and the next one is 甲辰 ，yeah, he is okay. But of course, I don't think he's going to run for election. But in terms of his own development, life development, he's still going to be quite stable. Not likely to get into any major issues. Well, he has already retired or something, right? Is he retired already? He was the MP for Aljunied GRC. from 2011 to 2020. So after 2020, he has actually retired. Known for being a strong, consistent voice in Parliament and a key figure in establishing WP as a serious opposition force. So yeah, but his future is still going to be quite smooth sailing. Perhaps he has a very wonderful retirement. I'm not sure, but he's not going to face major serious problems in the future. Right. So have really talked about a lot of people, a lot of politicians today. Anyone else you want me to talk about? Anyone else you can think about? Please feel free to leave it in the comments. If not, yeah, I will just call it a day because has been 1 hour and 40 minutes. 所以呢，今天所讲解的东西是没有政治上的用意没有什么意图想影响那个投票的那个过程Today's sharing has no political implication or intention to influence the voting process for the general election. It's just a chit chat session with my viewers. 今天只是跟大家一个聊天的一个我们说的一个直播了没有任何的意图想做任何就是影响那个选举的那个过程的只是教大家八字 is mainly for educational purposes. So hopefully you have learned something today. Perhaps the last woman I would like to look at, right? I also like her a lot. Okay, I won't say I like her, but I kind of like admire her strength as a woman. Yeah, Sylvia Lim. Right, I believe this is another character that is very interesting to look at. She was born in the year 1965, and in the month of March, 28. She's a very strong woman indeed. Yeah, so let's look at her birth chart and see what we can identify. All right, Sing Metal Day Master. Of course, we don't have her time of birth, but definitely, we can see right at her earth branches, 2 Shi fire. So it's a kind of like chart that has a lot of direct officer. All right, this Ji is Yin 1. Yes, it's actually 7 killing, a lot of 7 killing. So we have wood enhancing fire. So she is actually having a Sing Metal Day Master. That is a weak one. But nonetheless, she has this support called indirect resource at his heavenly stand. So for her to enjoy positive development, she will need to have the metal 5-year period or decade. Or let me rephrase, she will need to have metal decade or 10-year period in her life. So in fact, now she is actually at a metal decade or 5-year period of the 有 metal。就是说呢，用华语说一次啦，它是一个心经的一个日元，然后是身弱的命格里面七杀太旺这个呢我们叫做财生官的一个命格，然后呢有一个偏印在它的天干，可是呢它现在的大运很不错它现在的大运这个有金的大运嘛，对他来说是一个比肩，所以他还是能够掌权可是在2027之后有机会比较难掌权，因为丙火太旺所以可能过多几年嘛，他会不会遇到一些问题，有机会的。那他好像今年结婚，对不对？他好像今年结婚如果 if you remember the news, right, Sylvia Lim actually married in 2025, right? She married someone today according to the internet, Sylvia Lim, chairman of the Workers' Party, married her longtime partner, former national footballer Kuan Yew on January the 4th, 2025. So this year she actually get married, and you look at this year is of the Yi Shi. Shi is actually forming a combination relationship with this You here. When we see a combination relationship, usually it is a sign of tying the Lord. So yes, she get married this year, and fire element, right, for her chart is actually her what we call 正官七杀嘛正官七杀，当然是她的七杀啦可是七杀旺的时候呢，也是通常对于一个女生来说会有婚姻的情况出现。 可是大致上是因为呢酉跟巳有一个合的关系啊，酉跟巳它的大运也是合啊。其实这段关系 when they started this relationship when they started dating， 如果你看一下他的历史哦，他们的爱情的那个历史哈、哦、，Sylvia Lim and Kuan Yew began dating in 2013, and that is when she has entered into this this also a 巳, you know, 2013 is likewise a slick year. So it's like when she entered into slick year, slick is actually an element that will combine with your metal. She is of the Sing metal day master and is equivalent to the 有 metal. 所以有这种合的关系嘛，通常也是会有感情上的好的一个转变，又或者会结婚啊，所以也是恭喜他了 ，Sylvia Lim， 恭喜你的那个婚姻啊。然后呢，希望你们呢就是白头偕老了啊。可是呢，在 political scene 他会虽然就是说他现在还是有金了啊，可是下2年火也是比较旺，所以只能够说，就算他继续的被选了在那个政治方面，他还是会遇到一些压力啊。因为我们也是，如果 look back at the history, their case is not over, right? She's still facing these charges for the way they handle. I don't know some kind of charges are against them as always. So I don't know what are they are. She's having charges. Let me check the internet. She's actually facing some kind of legal issues. As according to the internet, as of March 24th, 2025, Sylvia Lim, chairman of the Workers' Party and member of Parliament for LGDJRC, he's not facing any criminal charges. So anyway, I still hope that I hope that she will continue to do her parts and able to I mean as politicians we will always kind of like always see that we have to be more fair-minded in a sense like it's not like you are a politician and everything you do is just to challenge the government. I believe that regardless of whether you are the government holding the major power or you are a minor party, all of them are just trying to benefit in Singapore. Create values or create benefits for Singapore. Just that we look at issues from a different angle. So, of course, I still hope that instead of fighting one another in the parliament, you guys can work together for the benefits of Singaporeans, because a lot of Singaporeans are facing a difficult time, especially now that the world economy is not doing well. A lot of uncertainty ahead. So hopefully, regardless which parties are going to serve, you guys in the parliament, discuss in constructive ways, ultimately to find solution for the problems that Singaporeans are facing. And that's what democratic society is all about, choosing, let people choose the right representative, to serve them. So I still hope that the democratic process in Singapore will be carried out in a very dignified manner, and there will be fairness, and there will be kind of like it's going to be a fair fight for all parties. Hopefully that's what I'm going to say. But of course, we all should do our part. If you believe that PAP is good for Singapore, choose PAP. If you believe that Workers' Party is good for Singapore, choose Workers' Party. Or if you believe that PSP is good for Singapore, choose PSP. Or if you think other parties are good for Singapore, choose other parties. Exercise your rights as a citizen. I also kind of need to scold myself because I don't care too much about the political situations in Singapore, but I should care more, because every citizen can make a difference in Singapore. So hopefully, right, you guys can vote wisely, but don't base on my opinions to vote. Right, my today's sharing is just for educational and entertainment purposes. Yeah, has no political implication at all. All right, so I will call it a day, and thank you all for watching. And recently has been raining every night. So hopefully you guys will be able to have a peaceful, sleep, listening to the rain, the sound of the rain. So I will also go and rest. It has been a long day. Thank you very much. And if you like this video, please like and share and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when I come on to live. See you all in the next live video. Bye bye.